So how can you move from pain, judgment, and criticism of others into honoring their life path, seeing the best in them, and really restoring inner peace in you and in me? Isn't that really what we seek? Our spirit seeks that peaceful state. We seek it all the time, and we find many ways that we can do that. Well, acceptance and unity are the path to peace. Whoa! What was that? Acceptance and unity are the path to peace. What's that mean? Well, we all know the mantra, what you resist persists. What's that mean? Because what we fight, what we don't like, we pour our energy into, the more we struggle, the more we keep feeding it. It's like taking a plant or a weed that you don't want to grow and continually watering it and babying it and giving it energy. Of course it's going to grow, and then we complain about it, right? So acceptance is recognizing what exists. It's saying this exists, I see it, we can get above it, because once we begin to exercise love, we know we're full of love. We actually have more compassion. Acceptance doesn't mean you have to agree with it. It doesn't mean you have to go along with it. But what it means is you accept it as because it exists, and that's what is. Problem is, pain is when our model doesn't match our world. That means our model of what things should be versus the way they are, and our resistance to that is what creates our pain. Whether physical pain or emotional pain will eventually lead to physical pain. But that's when what exists, we're completely resisting it. Non-acceptance is pain. Again, it doesn't mean we agree with it. And we can certainly change it, because change happens when? In one moment. But from this consciousness, we can begin to connect it with others. What's that mean? So as you look at people and conditions around you, whether you agree with them or don't, is really a result of general consciousness. When we're a spirit first, we're before the conditions. So general consciousness creates an economy, right? And then our individual consciousness creates that world. So when we see someone, we realize they're an innate being on their own soul path. I don't have to agree with the way they dress. I don't have to agree with the way they talk. I don't have to agree with the way they express themselves. I don't have to agree with what they're doing. But they are another spiritual being following their path, going through humanity with their level of consciousness. What I can accept and respect is that they are at their level of consciousness, whatever that is. And when I can love them unconditionally, meaning as another spiritual being along that path, then the pain washes off. The pain of non-acceptance, the pain of resistance washes off. So if you're in an argument with your spouse, hey, their feelings are hurt. I may not agree with what they're saying, but sometimes we're so convinced that we have to be right that we create our own pain. At what point does being right, and at what point can we raise our consciousness and accept people the way they are? Now, what does that do? It creates peace in us. It actually wires ourselves for compassion. We become more compassionate. It allows us to get to that higher consciousness and become a reference of our divinity rather than our humanity. So when you respect the soul path and consciousness of others at that time, you completely change from the inside out. You know, I had one major experience, just want to share with this real quickly, that really taught me this lesson, because I learned the hard way. My wife had cancer. We just found out it metastasized, and then she had just made the decision, you know what, I don't want to fight it. I'm just going to basically lay down and die. I just want to enjoy my time. And here I am, a chiropractor, man. I teach people how to be healthy. You know, I feel empowered. I'm sitting in the kitchen. She's in the den. We're in a heated argument. I mean, raising our voice, the whole thing. And I always say, God talks to you the way you can listen, right? Because sometimes we're so loud that we need something, noise in our head is so loud, we need something drastic. Well, at the time I was a martial artist, I was standing there right in the middle, raising my voice, boom! I got punched in the face, like someone hit me with a right hook. I felt a contact in my jaw, like a punch, that involuntarily turned my head to the right. And then I heard a loud voice, just like I'm talking to you, say, just love her the way she is. And I stopped mid-syllable. And I said, I never thought of that. Imagine, I never thought to love my wife unconditionally, right? And so I looked over at her, And she was looking at me weird because 1 minute I'm raising my voice, arguing. The next second I'm totally quiet and peaceful. She's looking at me weird. And I said, okay. And from that minute on, everything in my life of non-acceptance and resistance healed in that second. We also had a few challenges in our marriage, and everything healed. And one of the greatest gifts I got from watching her take her last breath and from being punched in the face with God was that there's only one thing that matters in life. That's unconditional love, and honor the people on their journey. What I learned is she didn't want to live, but I have a sole purpose. You're here because you have a purpose and you can overcome everything. The way to peace, the way to quietness is just accept people where they're at and love them unconditionally anyway, and the quality of your life will reach a whole new level.